Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming to attend our talk. So as you can see here, it says doing it again. So SilverCrest has been active in the Sonoran River Valley, which is in northern Mexico, for almost the last 15 years. I've been really lucky to be a part of that for the last 15 years. So doing it again comes down to, there was a project about 25 kilometers south of this project called the Santa Elena project. Now this project was discovered in 2004, was put into production in late 2009, early 2010. We sold that asset to First Majestic in 2015. So this is actually a spin out from that sale. Again, 25 kilometers north of the Santa Elena asset. So really just back in the valley, trying to build wealth, trying to drill these things out and trying to create wealth not only for our shareholders, but also for the communities in the valley. So if you take a look right here, you can see that area in there is really the biggest vein that we have on site. It's really our namesake. It's the Area 51 for the Bobby Canora vein. So we've been in there and we've been drilling this area. We've been drilling this area actively for the past 3 years. So just to give you guys really a sense of how aggressive we have been, this area has gone from, including the Las Chispas vein area, has gone from 64 million ounces to 87 million ounces to 108 million ounces, and that's in the last 3 years alone. So just a cautionary statement, you guys are more than welcome to get onto our website and check that out. So the management team here, my father, Eric Fier, he's our CEO. So he really regrets that he wasn't able to be here. Unfortunately, Lufthansa kind of created an issue for him flying in. But he has tons of experience. I mean, I grew up listening to this guy's stories throughout my life. This is why I'm in the industry, and this is why it's such an exciting industry for me. As you can see here, he's both a geologist and a mining engineer. He's been working active in the area for the last 30 years. He's put several mines, 6+ mines into production. He's also discovered 30+ properties. So he has really been an active both geologist and also a mining engineer. We come down to Chris Ritchie. Chris Ritchie is our president. He has been one of the biggest cheerleaders for Santa Elena 1.0, or SilverCrest 1.0 when we had Santa Elena, and now SilverCrest 2.0. He finally decided to join this side of the industry. So then we have Pierre Boudouin. He's our COO. Pierre is actually a very, very talented engineer. He's currently down on site, really pushing our current FS that's going to be coming out in Q2 of next year. So Pierre he was part of the biggest gold mine build in Canada for G2 Gold. Ann Young, she's also coming in with us from the original SilverCrest crew. She's our CFO, and she makes sure that we're spending all of our money the right way. So, and then we have Nicholas Campbell. He's our VP. He's our executive VP of business development, and he's back here. So if you have any of the financial questions, you're welcome to find him right after this. And then there's myself. So I'm the VP of exploration and technical services. I'm both a geologist and a mining engineer. Eric told me he wouldn't hire me unless I got both degrees, so hence why I'm here. So of course, as you can see with what I just went through, we have an experienced team. We built the mine 25 kilometers south of here. One of the biggest added values of that is not us just knowing the geology of the area. It's also just us knowing the processes of actually permitting and drilling and the costs in the area, and also the risks associated with working in Mexico. So we have a very impressive potential economics on this. We have an IRR of 78%. Of course, this is using lower gold and silver prices that we were doing at the time. So we're actually doing a net free cash flow for our first 4 years of $115 million, which is very impressive. 9-month payback on this thing. So we don't have a whole lot of pushback in raising capital to be able to finance this. So the drilling success, I mean, right now, during the last 9 months, we've really been pushing on doing a lot of the infill for the feasibility study that, again, is going to be coming up in Q2 of next year. So we haven't really been putting out a lot of the splashy, sexy exploration kind of stories behind this, but we've really de-risked all of the areas that we currently have in our resource. And again, that's only 10 veins of the current 36 veins that we have found on site. We have a very, very low finding cost, and that's 28 cents per silver equivalent ounce. And again, rapid growth, 3 resources in 3 years. I've been a very, very busy person. Strong cash position. We have $29 million as of the end of last month. And again, our CapEx is $100 million on this thing. 53 million of that is going to be going into the mill. When we go to raise, I mean, obviously we're going to have to raise to be able to build this thing. When we go to raise, we'll raise a bit more than that. It's simply so I can continue doing what I love, which is exploration drilling. Again, we've only done 10 of the 36 veins on this area, guys. So when we've really had an efficient use of the shareholder capital. You can see right there, for every dollar spent, we've added $9. So, and significantly de-risk. As far as permitting in the area, bringing it back to the area that we really know, we have been able to permit effectively in this area. We have our explosives permit, which we just got our full explosives permit back in August. We have our water rights and 100% ownership of both the Las Chispas and Bobby Canora area. We also, kind of cool behind the scenes and working with the community, we actually started a ranch. So anybody that's worked in Mexico, you know that you can end up with people squatting on your land. So we said, hey, we'll just bring in 75 head of cattle. And now we have a seat in the local cattle association, which is one of the strongest associations in Sonora. So one other thing to note here, right here, we have a decline into our Area 51 completed. I'm going to get into a little bit more detail on that in the next slide. So here, of course, we already went through. We have very, very strong PEA economics coming through. The strong offense, stronger defense. I mean, we're going through and we still have so much to explore on this. A lot of people will go into a project and they will drill this out for several years. Again, 3.5 years. And during our first year of drilling on this site, guys, trust me, I was walking up to that drill rig that was a man-portable drill rig in the side of the hill for about 3 kilometers a day. So again, impressive downside protection. We're looking at 11-month payback if we go down to 14 silver and 1,100 gold. And our defined path to our construction, we're currently building our decline on actually a production decline spec. So we have a 4 and 4.5 meter decline going into the Area 51. Come June, end of June, I was actually able to go up and touch the vein, which was phenomenal for me because you can actually go up and see this wide argentite vein underground. So just to note on that, the construction decision is going to be after we put out the FS later in mid next year, and then expected production by 2022. And actually, kind of cool thing to note, we met with the original family that had this property at the turn of the 1900s. So he actually left the property in 1920, and we found out that unfortunately he passed away in 2022. They're going to be putting together a big vigil for him in 2020, sorry, 1922. They're going to be putting together a vigil for him in 2022. So we're going to actually be involved in that with Las Chispas, which I always like the history on it. It's really fun. So again, our corporate structure, you can see right here. The biggest thing to take out of this is right now our market cap is around $500 million US. Our ownership, of course, I mean, we have to point out SSR Mining. They're hopefully happy shareholders. They come in and they do work-ins with us, which is phenomenal. They have a great team, a great technical team. And then, of course, we have almost 14% of our officers and directors. That's personally, I have 95% of my net worth in this company. I think Nick back there has about 90%. So we believe in this project. We believe in the team. Right here, it kind of gets into a little bit more of our recent financing details. If you want to talk about this in depth, Nick is going to be open to talking to you guys after this. So our most recent raise was at $5.85. Within a month after that, we were up at $7.50. So this it made a good return for everybody that was involved in that. So this really gets into the PEA summary. So as we mentioned before, this is making $115 million a year. So almost every 15 million ounces that we're finding on this property that's over a kilo, we're making over $100 million per year. So that's phenomenal economics. I mean, right now, like I said, 10 veins of these 36 veins have been explored. So we still have a great potential to find and add more ounces as we drill. And as I start moving some of the 18 drill rigs that we currently have on site into actual exploration drilling rather than just expansion and infill drilling. So here, you get a sense of the first couple years here are really, really phenomenal years, and then we start dropping down. Now, this is really due to the fact that we start going into a lower grade area. That lower grade area is the Las Chispas area. We haven't been focused on really finding new ounces in that area. So until recently, we actually went into the area and we said, okay, we're cutting off the resource below 700, the 700 level in that area. So I'll show you what I mean by that in the next couple slides because it's pretty significant for us. If we're able to get in there and we're able to add a couple more million ounces at that kilo plus level, we're able to start pushing back some of this lower grade, upper elevation at the Las Chispas back into the future. So. Again, this is our location. We're sitting just north of the Santa Elena mine. So we're about 4.5 hours south of Tucson, 3-hour drive north of Hermosillo. Now, we get a lot of questions about the safety and security in Mexico. I've been in and out of the area for 15 years now, well, almost 15 years now. We've never had issues in Sonora. It's been a phenomenal area to be in. We end up with tour groups coming through all the time. So some underground development is underway, of course. We really pushed to have the underground development and be able to touch the vein. It was a massive de-risking event for us. Now, the reason that is one, we were able to get in and it told us, hey, our vein is actually there. It's where we were expecting it to be. It was actually within 3 meters of what we had built into the resource with Tetra Tech, which is just speaks to the level of continuity that this system really has. So as of right now, we have about 300 meters on the 1096 level. Now that area was shot right into a very high grade system. So we're actually going to go through on the next slide and give you guys a little bit of sense of that. So you can see right here, we actually have about 13,000 tons as we sit today, sitting on that stockpile. Right here it says 20 to 25,000 by the end of 2019. We're actually seeing quite a bit better than that, and we're looking at 30 to 40,000 tons actually on that stockpile by the end of this year, most likely. Right here you can see the Santa Rosa portal, which is the decline that's going into our high grade area. And I'm going to fast forward a little bit because I'm running out of time here. But right here, just really quickly note, this is our high grade area. This is where the portal's coming through. Right here is where what we would see is the Bobby Canora Vista vein. So the Bobby Canora Vista vein, we just put out a news release today on. I'm really excited about it because it's not in our resource. It's also not in our reserves. So. Right here, just a quick note on that reconciliation we put out. We went through and we did a quick comparison of what Tetra Tech had modeled in there. We were getting about 900 grams per ton in that area from Tetra Tech from the sampling that we did every 2 meters. So this is the real amount that's in there, guys. We're getting almost 2.3 kilos in that area. So we went from a contained metal amount of 179,000 to 299,000 ounces. Okay, here's me standing at the Bobby Canora Vista vein. The Bobby Canora Vista vein, we just did our drilling in that area. We put it out today. Just a really quick note on that. So we weren't expecting to hit what we did. Underground, we cross over that vein, and we saw that being about a half a meter wide, and we were seeing about a kilo. We drilled to depth. At depth, we hit 8.8 meters true thickness wide at 1.1 kilos and 6.6 meters true thickness at half a kilo. Again, that's a phenomenal find for us. That means that's 2.2 meters wide over an area of about 150 by 200 meters. So if you just take that and do the quick math on it, that's 4 million ounces, cut it in half, call it conservative, that's 2 million ounces that we have directly available in that area. All right, so here's our actual slide on all the veins that are currently there. Again, this is the Bobby Sur vein. We're still drilling to depth there, seeing some love. Bobby Canora Norte vein, drilling to depth, seeing love. This is all outside of the current resource and resource. Then we also have the Bobby Vista vein, which is what we have our news release on. So you guys are more than welcome to come by the booth and check that out. Again, I'm really excited. This is some of the widest intercepts that we have seen on site to date. And here's the Las Chispas to depth. Again, we're going to be putting out a news release on this in the next 1 to 2 weeks. We're seeing love to depth. This is outside of any of the area that we have previously mined. So I can do a little bit more of a rundown if anybody wants to come and check that out at the booth. Why SilverCrest? We still have tons of area, tons of exploration area. We have added value to put into that exploration area. great economics on the PEA. We're going to be able to put this, our CapEx, and we're going to be able to put this into production for $100 million. So, all right, that's me. If you guys want to talk about more upside, you want to talk about more opportunities, you're more than welcome to come see Nick and I at our booth. Cheers. Thank you so much. Sorry for going over.